I got no video for y'all. This is Bachelor. Yeah. Season 17, episode 6. Let's get into it. So, Sean, the fuck? Yeah, this is how you know I'm tired. My notes say Sean chose Sean for the day. What the fuck? I don't know who did he choose for the first day, y'all. This is why I gotta stop watching this shit late at night. But yeah, the card says they're gonna go and have a fairy tale ending. Let's find our fairy tale ending. He pulls up in a big ass bus and they play in like the glacier and the snow. Oh yeah, fuck. Now I can't even remember her name. I feel so bad. It's not Destiny. I'll remember it later on. Or maybe it's in the notes somewhere. Afterwards, they have dinner in an ice castle. And it was all romantic and shit. So when the group date comes, Daniela says she'll be surprised, if her name is on the group date card. Because she's the only one that hasn't had one-on-one time with Sean. I knew she wasn't going to be on the one-on-one. Not because I have anything against her. It's just because, he gave you... he gave you that group date rose last episode. So I'm assuming he was expecting that to kind of reassure how he feels about you, to you, and in your mind. So, yeah. She definitely was on the group date card. On Sean and Catherine's date, she tells him that... Catherine, there we go. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Catherine. Yeah, and I'm even more sorry that, we're about to talk about what you guys discussed on the date, which was her traumatic story of when she had seen her friend get crushed by a tree when she was 12. Damn. Bless your heart, bless your friend's heart. I don't know how you even go to school the next day. I mean, I've seen niggas get shot, plenty. But, that was something that could have been avoided. That shit could have been controlled. But a tree just saying fuck it and plopping down on your best friend, some shit you really can't control. Especially not at 12. If you were like Paul Bunyan, it's a difference. On a group date, Sean and the women are going canoeing. And then they doing some shit where you deep dive in freezing ass water. But you got to be fully submerged. I really wasn't listening, y'all. Like I said, I got to stop watching this shit when it's late. I think it was called the bear cub plunge or some shit. And it was funny because Selma didn't even think twice about doing it. And Sean was like, this is a once in a lifetime kind of thing. And Selma got in her confessional and said what I said. No, it's not. Not a knock on Sean because he's had some good dates. But, none of that shit he did so far up until now is a once in a lifetime thing. I mean, rock climbing, going in these places and doing it, I guess you could say, the setting itself and the place that they are could maybe make it a once in a lifetime thing. But just the action itself, just going rock climbing is not really once in a lifetime. Deep diving in some freezing ass water, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's not really once in a lifetime. But just, I guess doing it on TV and doing it in Canada or wherever the fuck they were, Montana and shit like that. It's more so the place than just the action itself that makes it once in a lifetime, in my opinion. But at this moment, I kind of thought to myself, to Sean, this is going to be, you know what I'm saying? And even though she was like, you're not going to be mad at me, you're not. And of course he's going to say no, because he's a nice guy. Of course he's not going to voice that, makes him upset. And he's like, yeah, I want you to do it, but he wants her to do it. And honestly, I understand, Selma's from, I forget where she's from, but it's a hot ass place, desert and motherfucker sweaty, and it's humid as fuck where she's from. I forget. But my thing is just, I mean, you did the little rock climbing shit with him. So at this point, you should, and this is not me saying, this goes back to what I said last episode about if Jackie didn't speak on Tierra, then she wouldn't have gone home. Well, I didn't say that. I said, we don't know if that's true. It's the same thing with this, because in the end, of course, although I'll make my way around, Selma ended up going home. And you got to kind of think in retrospect, if she did this, would she have gone home? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. Because Daniela also did this and she ended up going home. So who's to say? We're not sure, but I'll get there in a second. Anyway, once they do it, they're like, oh, Tierra can't breathe. She can't breathe? Question mark? She having an anxiety attack? Does she have asthma? Because, like, we didn't even jump in the deep end. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was hooked up on an oxygen tank and some more shit. Like, I'm sure he was cold. But, like, come on. The no string shit with the oxygen tank. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always above and beyond. I'm like, you said you were cold. He came in the tent. He was in the tent standing over you, taking care of you. So, I mean, I guess that was your little extra time. But anyway, once they get back to the telly or whatnot, Sean told her, don't worry about coming to the party. Just focus on getting better. And of course, knowing Tierra, that bitch still got plans on showing up. So, man, she did just that. Sean chose Des for the second indie date on the little group outing, group date, whatever. He ends up giving Leslie the rose. He says that, you know, they turned the corner in terms of their relationship. Sarah, on her one-on-one time, shows Sean old photos of her and her family, and then they sealed it with a kiss. Later that same night, Sean was like, I can't see you forever with a specific woman who showed me her family. Just say Sarah. But he pulled Sarah and he was like, I feel like I was forcing it. You know, we were kind of reaching. Reaching? Oh, this nigga's got jokes. What a dick. You know, and it was rough seeing Sarah cry. Because, like, she was like, I'm tired of guys always telling me the same thing and what I deserve. And this always happens to me. And I'm like, damn, Sarah. And it's just one of those things where I'm like, when did you know this? Like, that always gets me. It's the timing. Like, if you would have told her that before she showed you the pictures of her family, and then you guys kissed right after, it was still gonna hurt. But just the fact that she showed you and was just speaking on meeting, you know what I'm saying? You meeting her family, that's what is like driving me crazy a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. And he did the same thing to Selma, which we'll talk to in like just a second. Or which we'll talk about in just a second. So, for Des and Sean's indie date that we just, you know, spoke about a little while ago, they go to Tunnel Mountain and they're going to rappel down to a small picnic, heavy on small. I couldn't even see that little weak ass blanket. But I mean, it was cute or whatever. They rappelled down. She was scared. He was kissing her, motivating her, rubbing on her booty and shit like that. They got down there. They ate, picnic, talked a little bit. And then she was like, I can climb the tree better than you. So then they climbed the tree. And then she tells like kind of a traumatic story about just being broke and poor and like not really having anywhere to stay and having to stay in trailer parks. And she stayed in a tent for months on end. So yeah. And I mean, their date was cool. Their date was good. Sorry for, I mean, I've been homeless before. I've not had anywhere to stay. I've stayed in shelters and shit like that. So I know how that shit be. I've never been in no like trailer park or no like RV park or no shit like that. That's not like me downing that. I'm just saying like I haven't experienced that, but like just pure homelessness. Yeah. At the cocktail party, Selma says in her confessional, she knows she didn't do the bear cub plunge, but she wants Sean to know that she can still take that leap. And she's serious. So she ended up kissing him. And after the kiss, he was like, oh yeah, like, I was hoping it would be that. Like, I waited on that. So in the end, when it was one rose left, and 3 women left, all y'all should have known what it was. It was Daniela, Selma, and Tierra. We all knew Tierra wasn't going home. This nigga is such an asshole. Like, this nigga sent Selma home literally, like, not even 30 minutes after she kissed him. Like, this was literally in the same night. You know how big of a deal it was that she did that? How much her family don't approve of not only shit like this, but what she did specifically tonight? And you send her home tonight? She could have kept the kiss. Now her family gonna be feeling like she disgraced them. It's just that I don't know. It's just boiling my blood, y'all. It's boiling my blood. And that goes back to what I have to say, or what I have to ask is like, when did you know? Like, when did you know it wasn't Selma? When did you know it wasn't Sarah? Like, we're getting to the point where these women are bringing you personal items. You're breaking down walls. They're doing shit that they told you they usually don't do. They never do. They're opening up about. And it's like, man, honestly, I would rather you wait until the rose ceremony, which that I'm specifically speaking on, like, Sarah's case. He's like, man, I didn't want you to sit here for like 2 more days if I just knew right now that like, nigga, well, she don't even have an indie date. You couldn't have fucking canoed with her and bear cub plunged or whatever they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really wasn't even like, I don't know. Hey, he's trying to find his wife. He's serious about it, but I can't even say that. You got Tiara around, and she's out here calling other guys cute, which, like, I know I said last episode, that's not a big deal. Cool, we'll put that aside. She's over here talking about, oh, I could have any man, or men want me, to the girls when they're in arguments. She's like, oh, I don't have to put up with this. I can have any man. Bitch, if that's the case, why are you here? If you can genuinely have any man, you would have had any man. You want Sean, so you're here. You wanted The Bachelor, so you're here. You wanted clout, so you're here. The most impossible thing to do is humble a woman, which I don't even rock like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even go around trying to humble women, but it's like, you really just seeing their ego. Like, even when they know the truth and they know reality, their delusion still takes over. How are you on a love? How are you 30? She's 30. How are you 30 and you're on a love reality TV show trying to get in a relationship and find a husband? Meanwhile, in that same token, saying you can have any man. You would have already had that man, baby. You would have already been married, babes. And you're not. But anyway, in terms of Daniela, I just don't think it was there. Like, I think Sean's a nice guy, of course. We have to keep reiterating that. Because why would the Bachelor ever be mean or ever, show any other emotion other than just pure-hearted and such a whatever. Fuck out of here. So he didn't want to hurt her. And after the last episode, when he reassured her and gave her the rose, he genuinely felt like, it was there. You know what I'm saying? But then he probably compared the connection with Daniela to the other connections and was like, it's there, but it's just not there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not at the level as these other relationships are. That's what I mean when I say it's there, but it's just not really there. Like, they were cool. Like, they vibed. I'm sure it was whatever, but like, to the point of like, you compare their connection to what he assumes he has with Tiara, it's not there. You compare their connection to what he has with Ashley, it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's there, it's just not to where it is with the rest of the women. But anyway, that's the end of this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, shitcast, shit, friends.